Viewers, US President Donald Trump is now crossing all boundaries of logic. He first calls India a friend, then imposes 25% tariffs on us. And in fact, now Trump has announced an additional 25% tariff on Bharat that will take effect in 3 weeks. India has once again issued a strong rebuttal to the United States. And let us take you through MEA's response to what really has been stated by the US. The MEA has come out to put out this statement. They say that they will take all actions to protect national interests. This is the first rebuttal. They've then gone on to add that action unfair and it's unjustified as well as unreasonable. This is the second rebuttal they've put out. The third rebuttal is that the additional tariffs are extremely unfortunate. They've also added the fact that our imports are based on market factors. They have further added that there are other countries who are doing several similar things, several nations taking decisions in their own interest, and therefore it is surprising that this has actually happened on ground. This is clearly India's first reaction to what has been stated by Donald Trump this evening. So swift responses now coming in from the government to whatever is being stated by the United States, both yesterday and today. We've seen these sharp responses coming in to the actions as far as US is concerned. Now, Donald Trump's decision to tax us hard is because India continues to import oil directly or indirectly from Russia. This means that India is now the country with the highest US tariff in the world. Just take a look at some of the other countries. There's only Brazil, which is at 50%, Canada at 35%, China at 30%, Mexico at 25%, EU at 15%, and in fact, India at 50% is the only Asian country with such a high tariff rate. Very, very significant in that sense in terms of what is happening. But what does Trump not realize? He doesn't perhaps realize that his actions are equally making him look like a fool, to put it nicely. While India is proud to import oil from Russia, after all, they offered us crude at dirt cheap prices when there was global instability. However, Moscow continues to be New Delhi's steadfast ally, and India openly acknowledges this friendship. But what about other countries who trade with Russia? EU pays billions of dollars for Russian imports. Even the United States continues to pay huge money to Moscow. However, when Trump was confronted about the US-Russia trade, all that he could say was, I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
India says that the U.S. imports Russian uranium, chemicals, fertilizers, while criticizing their energy imports. Your response to that, sir?
I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that. I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that. I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that.
Now, while the Indian government may have called out Trump's latest arm-twisting act, the opposition has lapped up the president's threat. Led by Rahul Gandhi, Congress party is questioning the Prime Minister, asking when he will finally give Trump a taste of his own medicine. Rahul, in fact, took to social media platform X after the US President's latest announcement. Let's take a look at what he said. This is a statement by Rahul Gandhi. He says 50% tariff is economic blackmail. This is a statement that he's made. It's an attempt to bully India into an unfair trade deal. He's also gone on to add that PM better not let his weakness override India's interests. A repeated charge being made by opposition is that somehow that India has not reacted strongly enough to what has been stated by President Trump. That's a repeated statement coming in. Let's quickly take it across to our reporters joining us live. We have Rishabh, also with us is Srinjoy. I'm coming to you first, Srinjoy, because this is a very strongly worded statement. And India has been putting out the second one in 48 hours, where India has clearly told the US the reasons as to why it is hitting back and not going to budge as far as its decisions are concerned. What can we expect from here on? Are also, reciprocal tariffs on the table as far as India is concerned? Srinjoy.
When India says unjustified and unreasonable, there is a clear understanding behind it. Because America, not that long ago, had made these two important points. One, when India buys Russian crude, refines it, and sells it to America, listen, sells it to America, refined Russian crude, America classifies it as Indian petroleum. That's the first thing. Secondly, and this is the American position, Secondly, America has said that when India buys Russian crude, it ensures that the price of petroleum in the world actually stays down. So this is the American position, or at least it was till what President Trump has said. Secondly, as far as Trump is concerned, it has to be said that he has always gone back and forth. Think of the tariffs that he placed on China. It was over 150%. Now they are back to 30%. Now, sometimes what Trump says is usually the first throw of the dice. It's you used the word bullying, or someone else did. It is a form of bullying to push India into a corner and accept a certain tariff percentage. Now, the actual negotiations will begin later this month when an American group arrives here. And that's when the nuts and bolts will be sorted out. Now, 25 and 50% also means that all the things that India sells to America will be hugely expensive. Now, who does that affect? It affects the American consumer.
Absolutely.
So there is bound to be inflation in America.
Let me get a quick response from... Absolutely, and in fact, American industry would also perhaps be looking at this with some amount of concern. But Rishabh, the question is this. The second tranche of 25% that has been announced today by President Trump will only be implemented in 3 weeks. So they've kept enough time for bargaining and the possibility of going back on that as well.
Well, Madhav, definitely there is room for negotiation for sure. But if we look at the MEA statement, this very paragraph that other countries are doing so, but it's unfortunate that Trump is going after India. Just few numbers here. Who is purchasing the crude oil from Russia? China purchases 47%. America is negotiating with them. India purchases 38%. When it comes to LNG, European Union is going for 50% of the exports that come in from Russia. India does not get LNG from Russia. When it comes to pipeline gases, European Union goes for 37%. Turkey, which is again a NATO partner, is getting 27% of it, while China gets 29%. So while other countries are not being targeted, it's very illogical and unjustified, as MEA calls it, that Trump is going after India. It clearly showcases that there is certain uncomfortable questions that need to be asked from Washington, that when China can do it...
Rishabh and Srinjoy will in fact come back to both of you for all the developments on the story, and we certainly have not heard the last word yet on it. We're going to see a lot more back and forth over the next few days. Thanks so much for joining us with all those inputs. Let's quickly take it across to our guest now. Radhika Khera is with us, national spokesperson of BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, is with us. We have Ashwini Kumar Mishra, leader of the Congress Party, and Siddharth Sharma, national spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party, is with us. Ashwini Kumar Mishra, this is not the first time that Rahul Gandhi has made a similar comment. A few days ago, he supported Trump's dead economy comment, and today he is coming out to say that he hopes that, the Prime Minister does not fail India, does not show his weakness. This is a time when India has put out a statement strongly denouncing what the US has done last time round, as well as this 25%, saying that this is the reason why we are sticking to our guns. Isn't this a time where all should be standing as one?
Madhav, if you look at the Rahul Gandhi's statement, he's clearly said that it is a blackmailing from the US. So yes, we are standing together with the government, with the country. However, what we feel is that as a Congress party, what we feel is that Modi is quite loud in the rallies, but he whispers when Trump speaks. That is not acceptable as a nation. When you have a chappan in Sina for everyone, why don't we show that chappan in Sina to the Trump also and reply in the same language? It is literally true that Trump is blackmailing us. Trump is blackmailing India, and as a sovereign nation, I think Modi should also respond in the similar languages, because Modi has been at least claiming that he very well know how to reply in the same language. So that is the only expectation we have as a country. When we don't reply in the same language, we are coming across.
So we should use Rahul Gandhi's language for the US president. That's what you're saying, in a sense.
No. I'm saying that Modi ji should denounce Trump, call out the Trump, and or at least say that Trump is right, Trump is my friend, because that is what he has done in past. Either accept that.
He should denounce, or he should do so that you can comment on it. Anyway, let me quickly bring in Radhika Khera. Radhika Khera, The Prime Minister should come out and make a statement on this. This is what they have been saying from day one. And once again, that statement being repeated by Rahul Gandhi and by the Congress party. Your response.
Good evening. Good evening. Let me make this crystal clear. This is not 1966 and this is not the Congress era of bending knees and signing off India's sovereignty. Today, Bharat is led by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi Ji, and when America tries to arm twist us with additional 25% tariffs, we don't shiver. We respond swiftly, firmly and sovereignly. The Ministry of External Affairs has spoken like a nation that knows its strength. Our energy needs will be met on our terms. These actions by the US are unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. That's not diplomacy. This is a diplomatic danda. And now coming to Rahul Gandhi, the man whose party literally surrendered India's economic, energy and security interests at Washington's doorstep for decades, is daring to call Prime Minister Narendra Modi Ji weak. Let me remind the Congress that in 1966, Indira Gandhi went ship to mouth for wheat. The US president decided when Indians would eat. 1991, Congress government shipped India's gold to London and Switzerland just to survive while blindly following Washington's policy dictates. 2005, Congress voted against Iran and IAEA to please America and killed the pipeline and damaged our own future energy security. 2008, 2009, after 2611, US protected David Hadley. Pakistan got sympathy and Congress kept sending dossiers and watched silently. This was not foreign policy. It was foreign slavery by the Congress government, also when Rahul Gandhi was a part of them. Rahul Gandhi represents the same old mindset of the Congress. Bow down, get patted, smile for a photo and call it diplomacy. But today's India does not take dictation from Washington like Indira Ji did. We don't apologize for buying cheap oil. We don't compromise for applause. We put our national interest first and we make no apologies for it. This is Narendra Modi Ji's new Bharat, and Rahul Gandhi can keep tweeting from the sidelines because governance and courage does not come into 80 characters.
Okay. Let me quickly bring in some of our other panelists as well. Siddharth Sharma, I want you to comment on this. You know, what's happening today is very significant. In the backdrop of all that's happening with the US, you know, on the one hand, you have the National Security Advisor in Moscow. We know that the Prime Minister is going to be going to China. We are seeing a very significant visit because this is happening after about 5 years, I believe. The facts are very clear that India has opened up. We've seen, of course, a recent FTA with the UK that's also happened. The point is that India is looking at diplomatically as well as economically diversifying all of its interests. And that's a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight. But India is looking at all the various options which are on the table. Isn't that quite clear at the moment? Siddharth Sharma.
Yeah, well, Madhav, this match, since it is being played right in front of the world in an open ground, India wins when Captain Dhoni has the guts to promote himself and face Malinga to win the World Cup for India. And here we have a 56-inch share hiding behind night watchmen like MEA spokespersons when Trump is bowling bouncers. Even BJP's nationalist supporters are baffled by Pradhanji's eerie silence and pusillanimity when Trump is not only insulting India but now injuring us too with the world's highest tariffs. I suspect that the one who was bandied as a 56-inch share has turned out to be a Karji share. And as an Indian fan, I expect my captain to come out and show those famous Lal Aankh to Trump.
Okay, what would Mr. Siddharth Sharma? Mr. Siddharth Sharma, simple question. Mr. Siddharth Sharma, may I ask you a question? May I ask you a question, sir? What would Arvind Kejriwal have been saying? What would his statement have been to Trump? Tell us.
Maybe come on national TV and instill some confidence in us Indians. Maybe ask all our Indian software professionals and scientists from Silicon Valley to NASA to leave America and come back to overnight itself, intellectually bankrupt America immediately. That's what can be done by the Prime Minister of India. Why doesn't he come on TV and ask all the Indians who are so much powerful and so highly intellectual in NASA and Silicon Valley to come back to India?
And what if after 2 weeks Trump reduces the tariffs, then they go back to US?
No. Intellectually bankrupt America tonight. What Kejriwal would have done.
Mr. Sharma, diplomacy doesn't work like that. It's very easy to come and do, Aam Aadmi Party has come out, it's practiced all sorts of politics when it was in the opposition, asked people to resign on the basis of documents. When similar things happened in power, you were not there. Same thing now is appearing to happen when, you're talking about the Prime Minister and diplomacy between two countries. Diplomatic ties, is it really that simple? All right, let me not get into a debate with you. Let Anand Raghunathan, in fact, come in. Anand Raghunathan, is it that simple? Ask all the US professionals, all the software engineers, all the NASA scientists to come back, and tomorrow if the tariffs are reduced once again, send them all back to US. That's Aam Aadmi Party's foreign policy.
But they're right. That is exactly what Kejriwal would have done. No, look, this is a very serious topic. and we need to discuss this with facts and figures. As I say, Madhav, trusting Trump or Americans is like trusting Dracula to keep his mouth shut at a blood donation camp. Hypocrisy runs not only in their veins but also pipelines. Even as the EU continues to buy 3 million tons of Russian iron and nickel, 18 million tons of Russian LNG, 8 million tons of Russian oil, the USA continues to buy 3.5 million tons of Russian fertilizers, 435 tons of Russian uranium, and 1.1 million tons of Russian oil refined by India. They want to punish India for buying oil from Russia. And these are the very same people, Madhav, who were a couple of years ago forcing India to buy Russian oil so as to stabilize the world oil prices. Then they didn't care about people being killed in Ukraine because they wanted to stabilize oil prices for themselves. And as for those Western hypocrites who say we are only buying a fraction of the Russian oil what India is, well, this is akin to saying Bill Gates, I only went to Epstein Island twice, whereas Bill Clinton went 20 times. Look, India has saved 2.21 lakh crores or $26.35 billion in the last 3 years through buying Russian oil instead of Saudi oil. Had it not, our inflation would have increased cumulatively by 1.47% over what it has been the past 3 years. Let Trump write us a check for $26 billion and we'll stop buying Russian oil. And as for those turnips, many of on your panel who ask, why has all the money that has been saved not been given to the ordinary oil consumers? Honestly, it is embarrassing to explain to them that the money earned and saved by the government in any sector goes into a kitty that is then dipped into every time it needs to give hundreds of billions of dollars worth of welfare or subsidies for any other sector. Where do you think all those 100 million toilets come from? Aapke ghar se aate hain? All those highways, bridges, trains. Anyway, Madhav, as I said, the hypocrisy on display is astonishing. Point number 2, very quickly. This is important. How do we deal with Trump? Well, how do you deal with a bully? Either you ignore him, which riles him no end, or you out-bully him. India, I'm afraid, can no longer use the first option, but it can employ the second. But for that, we need to fall on him like a ton of bricks, pun intended. By bricks, I mean BRICS. All of whose constituent nations have been antagonized by Trump. In fact, Brazil has suggested we move away from dollar. I like the fact that PM Modi is visiting China and Ajit Doval is in Russia. A message needs to be given and given soon to the bully Trump. And finally, what is more important, I ask Ashwini ji, words or deeds? 56 inch. In the last 1 year, India has bought 90 million tons of oil. That is deed. उसने हमारे देश के इन्फ्लेशन को रोका है, हमें बचाया है. America said don't buy, we bought. Which is more important? Antagonizing America or saying we'll do what is in our national interest?
Ashwini Mishra.
Yeah. So, Madhav, first of all, I don't know why Radhika ji did so much whataboutery about Congress era. And let me remind her in 1971.
Was she factually wrong anywhere?
No, she made a lot of points. Yeah, 19.
come to US pressure.
I did not interrupt you. You will get a chance to speak, madam. You will get a chance to speak. You will get a chance
you named her. You said you asked her why she is doing whataboutery. She will obviously respond to you. Let's stick to facts, please. If there's anything factually wrong, no problem, sir. Please, you're more than welcome to expose anything that you believe is factually incorrect. Now go on.
In 1971, when US was threatening India, Indira ji clearly said that "Aap saatma nahi, aatma beda bhej dijiye. We don't care." And I, as an Indian, feel proud that we can stand. We can stand on our grounds against America. I have no denial on that. But the problem is that we expect from our supreme leader to speak as well. And Dr. Anand Rangnath, it is both things are important. It's not just the deed. The words are also equally important when it comes from a leader that gives the moral boost to the entire nation. Because deeds might be visible in future, but words are visible in right up front. When he's telling, and he has been questioning our sovereignty from the very start. Why we don't show courage and tell that Trump, you are a liar, you are wrong. We will not bow down to you. But if you think Modi's silence is a strength, I'm sorry,
Mishra, one second. I just want to ask one simple question. Ashwini Mishra, why has this tariff been imposed on us?
Because Trump thinks why we are buying oil from Russia.
Correct. Because we did not surrender to US. We did not do Narendra surrender, which is what Rahul Gandhi claimed.
What is surrender? What is surrender, Madhav? What is surrender? Surrender is not answering in his own language. That is the surrender. Why Modi is bowing down to not answering him?
When
I love how the goalposts are shifted. I love how the goalposts are shifted from saying
it is very logical.
Pradhan Mantri Modi ने ट्रंप को सुना और ट्रंप ने बोला नरेंद्र सरेंडर और प्रधानमंत्री ने सरेंडर कर दिया. There was no conversation at that point of time. Sir, 50% tax लगाने का कैसा सरेंडर है? I don't know. What kind of surrender is this, sir?
20 seconds, Madhav. If I call you liar on a TV channel and if you don't respond to me, is it not that you are accepting it?
Does diplomacy work like that?
No,
you want Prime Minister to fall to Trump's level.
So when Trump
you want
says
Prime Minister to fall to Trump's level.
I am the one because of that ceasefire happened.
Sir, there was a reply in Parliament.
No, Modi did not reply.
There was a reply in Parliament. He said that this is completely factually incorrect.
He did not utter the name Trump at all, even once.
So what does it mean to? He said there was no intervention.
Because Trump is
He said there was no diplomatic intervention.
Madhav, you need to understand this very objectively, or probably you have to do all Bharatiya Janata Party Samarthak has to do Trump Shuddhikaran Havan as well. Because this is not going.
Let's go. Yeah, the point is name calling is not required in every situation, and definitely in diplomacy there are many things to think about. Let me bring in Dr. Raghunathan wants to come in. Radhika, I'm seeing your hand as well. Dr. Raghunathan, very quickly, and then I go across to others. Yes.
You see, Ashwini ji is a very sensible, erudite person. He accepted that we have stood against America in deeds, not in words, which is what is important. Now when he says कि ईंट का जवाब पत्थर से देना चाहिए, तो मैं इनसे पूछता हूं, ये महात्मा गांधी के उपासक हैं. महात्मा गांधी ने कहा था जब एक कोई गाल पे थप्पड़ मारे दूसरा क्या करो? थप्पड़ मारो. पूछो, बताओ क्या करो अश्विनी जी? कंटाप मार दो.
हम महात्मा गांधी के भी उपासक हैं, हम भगत सिंह के भी उपासक हैं, हम शिवाजी के भी उपासक हैं, हम सबके उपासक हैं. We fight for the poor, we fight for the weak. But अगर हमको कोई स्ट्रांग आदमी जवाब देगा तो हम उसको दुगने उससे जवाब देंगे. महात्मा गांधी ने ये नहीं बोला था कि अगर तुम्हारे कोई.
सर, बीजेपी तो छोड़िए, आम आदमी पार्टी को बुरा लग जाएगा. They also subscribe to Bhagat Singh's ideology, they say. Siddharth Sharma is also laughing. Siddharth Sharma also has a smile.
No, Jinnah funded Bharatiya Janata Party's whole construction of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay. Ashwini, let others come in. Come on. Let others come in. Please.
No, you check.
Allow others also. Ashwini, come on. Don't be intolerant so much. We have limited time. Siddharth Sharma, I want you to come in on this. At the end of the day, the point is very simple. When it comes to diplomacy, it is a balancing act. Yes, India has a lot to gain, a lot to lose, but India has to go in a calibrated manner. The point is, the government will come out and say that yes, we did respond to President Trump, but we said it in our own words, and perhaps that's why you're seeing this tariff being imposed. So there is no question of India capitulating or surrendering to what the US has said so far. The very fact that there is a 50% Trump is because 50% tariff, I beg your pardon, is because we're not doing what Trump wants us to do.
Well, Madhav, what happens is everyone in India follows cricket. A match isn't won by what fanboy Dr. Anand Ranganathan says. Match is won by how Pradhanji, the player, plays. And Pradhanji has become the Bumrah, proverbial Bumrah, absent in 3 matches. It's as simple as that. If you asked why Trump is imposing tariffs on India, because it was Pradhanji who said Ab ki baar Trump sarkar, because it was Pradhanji who said Namaste Trump, because it was Pradhanji who accepted Trump announced ceasefire. When China is taking more oil from Russia,
according to you, in a nutshell, Siddharth Sharma, if I got you in a nutshell, you're saying only the captain is important in cricket. Wicket-keeper, batsman, bowler, fielder, nobody is important. कौन गली में खड़ा है, कौन स्लिप में खड़ा है, कोई जरूरत नहीं है. कैप्टन से मैच जीत जाएंगे. अच्छा, okay. So MEA किसके लिए होता है, sir? Why is MEA therefore? Why do we have a Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. Sharma? Why do we have a Ministry of External Affairs run by career diplomats?
The diplomatic failure of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Simple thing is, just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni walked out, promoted himself, and that's why India won the World Cup. When is our Pradhanji going to come out, hide behind night watchmen like Mr. Ranveer Jaiswal of MEA? How can you win matches when the captain himself is hiding inside the pavilion?
Dhoni, by the way, didn't perform through that series, only performed in the final. Let me refresh your memory. But Radhika Khera. Okay, Anand, come in. Just let Radhika come in. I'm coming to Anand. Yeah, Radhika Khera.
Now, Congress over here is hiding behind 1971 like it was a badge of honor, but forgets that India's courage stood on Soviet shoulders. Without Moscow's fleet countering the 7th fleet, Indira Gandhi would not have stood firm, and it would have been another ship to Mount's moment like the 1966. So let's not cherry pick on one and forget the rest, whether it was signing IAEA, safeguards under pressure in 1976, voting against Iran in 2005, or selling out of strategic assets. Congress has a long track record of holding under foreign pressure. But let me remind them, the opposition is talking about 56-inch...
Completely out of time, out of time, but Dr. Ranganathan, 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds.
Yes, to use the analogy of my good, friend from AAP, Siddharth ji, केजरीवाल जी तो आते हैं मैदान में खेलने बिना गार्ड लगाए, लेकिन यहाँ पे मैं फिर 5th टाइम ऑफिशियली मैं इनकी फेक न्यूज को बस्ट करना चाहता हूँ. ये व्हाइट हाउस का ट्रांसक्रिप्ट है. मोदी नेवर सेड अब की बार ट्रम्प सरकार, he was quoting Trump saying it. Please, झूठ मत फैलाइए.
Okay, let's not go below the belt here. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Radhika Khera, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Ashwini Kumar Mishra, as well as Siddharth Sharma. Has been quite an entertaining debate from Kejriwal to Trump and the cricket analogies. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.